You know, when you got a fuse that's already lit, you don't need to add no more fire to it. Knowing their history, it's about money.
No justice, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace.
Who is Al Sharpton? Baptist minister? Television personality? Charlatan? Race baiter? Project Veritas decided to investigate Sharpton and talk with the people he claims he is trying to help. Their verdict? Sharpton is more sinner than saint.
I'm minding my business. Please just leave me alone. I told you the last time. Please just leave me alone. Put your hand behind your back.
Justice for Eric Garner.
Who's your father?
Yeah, that was my father. I'm his oldest child.
So what, you think Al Sharpton is kind of like a crook in a sense? Like you think he's like...
Al Sharpton seems to always find a cause, and lately he has shown up at a lot of funerals. In fact, his organization NAN, the National Action Network, often pays for them. It affords him center stage in the circus of a controversy.
We got to be here for the long haul. Michael Brown does not want to be remembered for a riot.
As Ferguson, Missouri heated up in the days after Michael Brown's death, Sharpton met with community leaders. Bishop Calvin Scott was troubled by what he heard.
I frankly was in one of his, I mean more than one, a couple of meetings, 2 or 3 meetings that he was in, and I think to some degree he sort of incites people for the wrong reason. You know, I just, you know, I'm in the gathering. He's got them all fired up, but I just sense that this is not the way you want to go. You know, when you got a fuse that's already lit, you don't need to add no more fire to it.
2 years ago, Sharpton took on the cause of Trayvon Martin. Darrell Parks is a lawyer who represented both the families of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. He has known and worked with Sharpton for years.
That Sharpton is all about his money.
And there may be a little truth to that. I'll admit that. That's the only truth, the only thing I'll admit to.
The daughter of Eric Garner, the religious community in Ferguson, and a prominent lawyer for the Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown families believe they know who the real Al Sharpton is, and they are not alone.
I just try to keep my money away from him.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I certainly don't blame you. You got the administrative fees and the administrative costs, you got all this cost, but at the end of the day, you got maybe 10% of what you donated actually really going and hitting the streets. Sharpton is going to be all right. He's been all right forever. He knows how to make money and get money. And they're shakedown guys.
Yeah.
You know, let's call it what it is. They're shakedown.
Earlier this month, we found a photo of Al Sharpton on the Trayvon Martin Foundation website.
One concern about this, I saw on your website, NAN, the Sharpton thing.
That's a sore subject with us right now.
When asked if Sharpton would be attending a fundraising dinner, the president and executive director of the Trayvon Martin Foundation, Troy Wright, seemed to suggest that the good Reverend Al wasn't welcome.
Oh, really? You're not a big Sharpton fan? So how tied are you in with...
Well, I'll give you an example. He won't be at the dinner on Sunday.
That's by design?
Just a decision made that he won't be at the dinner on Sunday.
I hear you.
I'll just leave it at that.
Sharpton wasn't at the dinner, but Project Veritas was. Tickets cost $75. When we talked with Trayvon's father, Tracy, we asked him where the money would be going.
Promise me this money's not going to end up without Sharpton. Oh, no. Have you met him? Sharpton?
I've met him, you know, everybody has their own different opinions, you know, I mean, he's
At the dinner, Troy Wright again distanced the foundation away from Sharpton.
Still concerned as the Sharpton thing.
I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, I guarantee you, his involvement, he has no real involvement in the foundation. There's no connection there.
The only thing is that like, they were proud to put it on their website. You know, do you want to take this organization away from Al Sharpton? Like, a different direction? Like, do you want to separate yourself? Are you willing to do that?
So what I'm willing to do.
What Troy Wright was willing to do was to remove any and all images of Sharpton and Nan from the foundation website, just days after we spoke to him.
Eric Garner! Eric Garner! Eric Garner!
Erica Garner, the daughter of Eric Garner, has also severed ties with Al Sharpton, saying his organization has tried to control her actions and profit from her father's death.
This lady, Cynthia
Davis, she's the chapter out here for the National Action Network.
Cynthia Davis called you and told you, oh, you need to put the logos.
She told me to my face too.
Cynthia Davis is one of Al Sharpton's top lieutenants.
She started attacking me as far as, oh, I seen that you got this flyer out. How come you ain't add the logo?
So they want their logo on your flyers?
On my flyers.
But it's not about them, it's about your dad.
Exactly. Instead of me, he wants his face in front of him.
Wants his group, which is what?
For the funeral. She's trying to make me feel like I'm old.
Woo, hold up, how come I ain't know this?
Because they need
when I
them
first came
in
out
a way to fundraise.
My thing,
but it shouldn't be about money.
Asked me if the information. And
Are you? Welcome to America,
sweetheart.
So what, you think Al Sharpton is kind of like a crook in a sense? Like you think he's like, he's about his money with you?
Months after Michael Brown's death and the riots that followed, Ferguson is still struggling to rebuild buildings and trust.
Do you think that Al Sharpton exploited Michael Brown's case for his own profit?
In my opinion, yes, I believe he did. I think that as he came into the community, rather than try to establish a common conversation, it was more of a baiting situation to where he was divisive of people. Instead of bringing us together, I think he was drawing us apart.
Well, I'm not quite sure of what Al Sharpton did. I know he came and he, he spoke a couple of times. I don't really know what he did.
One of the things Sharpton did was to use the Michael Brown controversy to raise money for Nan.
Frankly, if your motive is to help and be a source of resolve, money should not be the primary.
Right.
It should not be. And that's a question mark. And you're not the first person to raise that question.
Yeah.
There's someone in the higher up that even mentioned that they know the history of an Al Sharpton and an organization such as him. And they emphatically stated that for them, knowing their history, it's about money.
Human.